Hi guys, so before anyone asked, Ethan is in the next room. He's actually asleep, but I wanted to just come in here and make this video real quick. I might post it tonight if I can figure out how, because Ethan normally edits the videos and adds them on YouTube and all that, but what I mainly want to do is I want to explain some stuff, because I was scrolling through TikTok tonight and I was watching the comments and reading the comments, and people were like asking questions I've never seen anybody ask before. Like, they were asking about my dad, where my dad was, why he wasn't in our life, why he wasn't at our wedding, why he isn't involved in anything. And I just want to explain that stuff like that is something that I probably should have already said and talked about a long time ago, because we have been on this app for like 8 months, almost a year in May. But I just want to explain everything, put it out there so y'all know exactly what happened, and you don't have any questions and you don't have any confusions about my dad and think he's a bad guy, because he's not. Okay. Sorry y'all, I just cried, like I really did. Whenever I was 10 years old, my dad got really sick and he went to the hospital. And he stayed in there. He was in there for like 6 months straight. Me and my brother, we prayed for a blessing. We prayed. Because my dad was an apostolic pastor for 38 years. And he taught us to pray. He taught us, if something's wrong and you know something's wrong, you don't put your faith in anything else but God. And you pray and you seek and you believe in that healing and in that miracle, and God, you will receive it. So me and my brother, we were like the bestest friends in that time. Like, we were like this, and we prayed and we prayed and we prayed and we prayed and we prayed, and he passed away on December the 28th of 2009. The hardest day of our entire lives. Like, I'm not even joking, that was like the hardest thing that we've ever had to go through, and I would never want anyone to have to live through that and go through that. But I just want to kind of explain some things and what happened after that and what I went through leading up to my older adult ages, which is right now. So after my dad passed away, me and my brother became very distant. He didn't like me anymore. We didn't talk anymore. And if we did anything, we were fighting, or he was pushing me, or we were just, it was always something bad. And it was because that my dad passed away. Like, he envied me. He envied me. And for the longest time, I got blamed for the death. I got blamed for all that. But it was because of the anger he had built up in himself, because that was his best friend. Like, my dad was my best friend. He was my brother's best friend. And I prayed, and I started praying and praying and praying for God to fix that situation with my brother. And I was 18 years old when God filled my brother with the Holy Ghost. And if you don't know what the Holy Ghost is, we'll be making a video on that and explaining more on that topic. But he filled my brother with the Holy Ghost, and my brother cried. He came, he grabbed my neck and Ethan's neck, and he apologized to me. He was crying, and he apologized for everything, and I mean everything he had ever done wrong to me. And now, to this day, we are like best friends again. Like, there's nothing you could do to separate our relationship. It's just that strong. And then my mom, on the other hand, I still don't believe that she's completely over that situation, my dad passing away and all that. Like, she seems to be handling it good, but I honestly don't think that it's where it needs to be. But I also want to share this one thing with y'all. For everyone who doesn't believe in God, I want to share this with you because this might be something that will change your mind, change your perspective on things, and understand more. So when I was, what was it? I was like, was I 10? I was 9, almost 10, I think, before my dad went in the hospital. And he had told me we would play this game and we would like sing and stuff. And my dad, like, he believed in visions. He had visions of a lot of stuff that happened and came to pass. But this one thing he told me when I was like 9, almost 10, and I didn't understand at the time what marriage was. I didn't understand what he was trying to tell me at the time, but he told me, and I quote, he told me one day that I would find a apostolic, Holy Ghost filled man, and I would be 17 when I got married. And that was also the age that my dad got married to my mom. It was his first wife. That's when they first got married. It was when he was 17 and she was like 16. So I was like, Dad, I don't know what you're talking about. That's just confusing me. I don't want you to say that. Because at that time, boys were gross to me. I didn't like boys. I don't want boys looking at me. I don't want boys coming near me. They had cooties. It was like, ugh, no. But I kid you not, when I turned 17, it was the first time I ever went to this conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma that we go to every year now. I saw this boy in the peripheral of my eyes on a roller coaster, and he just like, he caught my eye, like he really caught my eye. And I was watching him the entire time because we were at this incredible pizza place in Tulsa, and I watched him like the entire time while I had an anxiety attack because it was my first year and I had never like been away from my mom, sorry, for that long. So I was like, so there was something about him, even though I was going through an anxiety attack, there was something about him that was just there. Like I can't explain it. Peak went on, and that was the last night we were there. We left that next morning. It was Saturday morning, and we left, and we were headed back, and he was still on my mind, like fully on my mind. I could not stop thinking about him. And like 2 months, I want to say 2 months, July, August, yeah, 2 months. It was September 14th, I think. I was scrolling on Instagram, and like I was private, so I had to like accept the request for people to be on my Instagram. Well, I was scrolling through my Instagram and this page caught my eye, and I was like, who is that? And I clicked on it, and it was this boy. I had just seen this boy at Peak, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did he find my Instagram? Why is he wanting to follow me? I mean, look at me. I did not have any self-confidence at the time. I didn't love myself. I didn't want to be seen. I would literally put pounds of makeup on to even post a selfie. So I was wondering, why is he trying to follow me? So I kid you not, I left that friend request in the request box for about 2 more weeks. And then I went back to it, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna accept it. I'm just gonna accept it. So I accepted it, and I was scrolling through his page and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And if you know me, you know I like boots. Not on me, but like on guys. Well, my husband now. But I loved boots on people. And he had these blue pair of boots. Like they were, oh my gosh, they were so cute. And on him. And sorry I was doing my hair, it's just getting on my nerves. And I messaged him. I don't know why I messaged him. I don't know why I did it. But I messaged him and I said, oh well, hey, I like your boots and you're kind of cute. Why did I say that? I don't know. Blah blah blah, went on, conversation started, and turns out this guy thought I was cute. What? Yeah, he thought I was cute. Boom to all the haters who thought that nobody would ever think I'm cute. But anyway, he thought I was cute, and I was like, I do not need to get close to this guy. I do not need to build a bond. I don't need to do this because I'm just gonna hurt myself. Because I've been talking to people before, and they just like, once they saw me, they didn't like me. So it was kind of awkward. But we talked and we talked. And I kid you not, he was talking to another girl too. But we weren't dating. They were actually kind of like talking, like fixing a date talking. And November 14th came around, and he came out and told me that he liked me, like he liked me, and that he was getting attached to me, and he felt something with me that he wasn't feeling with this other girl. And I was like, okay, so what are you saying? And it kind of just like, we kept talking through the month of November. We talked and talked and talked, and we literally just grew a bond. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to do that, and I did anyway. Well, December 14th came around, and he called me, and he said, so I just got home from church, and I need to ask you something. And I was like, oh God, what are you fixing to ask me? And he was like, he procrastinated for a minute, and then he was like, will you be my girlfriend? So I was at church, and I was praying, and I was asking God to help me and lead me to the right person, the right girl that he wanted me to be with and marry in the future. And I was like, you think that's me? Because I never like saw myself being with anybody, because nobody ever liked me. But I said yes, and then I was like, wait, what about this other girl? Turns out he had already ended things with her. And I was like, well, I didn't know what to say, but I was excited. Like, I immediately got excited, and I said yes. I was like, of course. I was like, yes, I will be your girlfriend. And then the distance. He was 4 hours away from me, and we were planning for us to meet each other and see each other. And on December the 30th, 2016, my mom actually gave me the money for my sister to take me to here, which is where we live now, which is his home state. And she took me here, and he ran down, when we got here, he ran down the driveway of his grandma's driveway, and he literally hugged me so tight. And he was like, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to turn me down once we got here because of how I looked. And he called me beautiful, and he wanted to kiss me, but my sisters was right behind me, and they were intimidating as crap. Let's just say that. So I walked up, I met his grandma, met his mom, and then we left. We went to the boardwalk in Shreveport, and that was kind of crap. It got cold, they closed, we were walking around. I was ready to get home, but 2 months went by. February came, and we were at my little nephew's birthday party, and he proposed to me, which now y'all know it was Ethan. The whole time this was Ethan. So it was a whole love story in a nutshell, honestly. And he got down on one knee at my nephew's birthday party in the middle of the dance floor with all the globe lights going around. And he asked me to be his wife. And of course I said yes. I loved this boy. At the time, we were both like girl boy, because we weren't like that old. But I was like, yes. I cried. I was crying my eyes out, because I was already having a bad day. And then he pops this on me. I was like, I feel so loved. Anyway, then on June 3rd, 2017, we got married. And now we're living happily ever after. But all that happened led from the very moment that my dad had that vision and told me about it. I would have never believed that this was going to happen, but I was 17 when I met Ethan. I was 17 when I got proposed, and I was 17 years old when we got married. So don't tell me that God isn't real. Don't try to tell me that, you can say, you can not believe in God if you want, but don't come to me trying to convince me that God's not real. Because he very is real, very much real. I'm trying to think of anything else I need to cover. I don't think I need to cover anything else. I think that's it. So I hope this answers a lot of y'all's questions. I hope this helps a lot of y'all and y'all understand a lot of stuff now. If you would like me to do more videos on my life and what's happened in my life so you can get to know me more, please comment, like, and subscribe. And most importantly, subscribe and like the video and watch it. So why like it if you don't watch it? Anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling on. It's 2 in the morning. I'm really tired. So I'm about to go to bed. But before I go to bed, I need to do a thumbnail. So hold on. That's cringe. Okay, I'm going to bed now. So as me and my husband always say, be nice and don't hate. Appreciate. Bye.